Hey everyone, this is Benja Welldone in the audio version of my YouTube channel, Benja Welldone Comedy, playlist Waiting for the World, where I document my rise to comedy, starting from when I moved to Texas a little over a year ago in 2018. If you have any live question about absolutely anything having to do with love advice, joining the military, foreign travel, business, you name it, feel free to send me an email at Benja, Benja, Welldone, Welldone @gmail.com, and once a week I will anonymously give you an answer to your question, roasting the shit out of your situation just to make light of it, followed by giving you a real legit answer. Thank you for your time and stay tuned.
And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Welldone coming at you live on this beautiful rainy Texas Sunday, February the 23rd at 4:46 in the afternoon. How are you doing? So here's the thing. I'm an extremely analytical guy to like the infinity degree. I truly am. And I always have two constant running thoughts. In this order. Number one, comedy. Number two, jiu-jitsu. How and why? What is it relevant? What am I getting at? The point is that I'm obsessed about comedy because that's who I am. It's not like something that I want to do. It's who I am. And jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is life, and here's what I mean by that. Every time I leave jiu-jitsu, it's like I leave with the answer to a riddle that ends in another question. And when I'm working on comedy, which is who I am, I do not stop obsessing over like the exact phrase, timing, absolutely everything about it until I get one line exactly correct. And then when I do, I just feel so relieved. But when I do that, the next line is like directly below it, and then it starts all over again. And I love it. There is a constant puzzle that comedy is between the timing, the word order, the actions that are expressed, the tone, the mood, all of this stuff, and I obsess over it. And when I leave jiu-jitsu, secondly, underneath comedy, but still connected to it as part of it, I have that exact kind of a thing with just 1 degree less of priority. Because what I meant by like jiu-jitsu is life, there is so much strategy in it, and it works in conjunction with my comedy because it gets you to problem solve in advance. And whenever you are doing something on a high level, especially adding something that's a task, such as someone trying to choke you so you don't breathe, I don't care. That doesn't bother me, right? That kind of stuff, me being a soldier and whatnot, army vet, cool. And in general, me being me, that's good. It's good to add problems or a different task while you are working on something to get better at it. Even if it's something that is, so the perfect example, when you are under a potential pressure of some kind and you're trying to do a task, when that pressure is alleviated, you're so much better at it. It's no different than how you train harder and how fighters train harder in training than they do when they actually fight. So the fight is always easier. So anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm so quick to abandon material that does not work after I've fully vetted it. And recently I had a show in South Lake, Texas, and I found some things that hit really hard again, but other things that did not. So then, like, it's here's what I'm trying to get at. One of the things that I love about jiu-jitsu is that you're constantly pursuing, and comedy for that matter, even more importantly, is that you're constantly pursuing the truth of what works. Because in the exact way you should be able to do relatively any move in jiu-jitsu on anybody type, etc. Okay? Almost all jokes should work on all people. There's so many parallels between jiu-jitsu and comedy, mostly because I obsess about them relatively equally. But if I gave you a bunch of wood, think of it like this. If you had a house that you wanted to build, and then as you're building the house, I'm throwing rocks at you, okay? Which is a complete distraction. Like, what the heck is this guy talking about? This is what I'm getting at. And then as you started using the wood to build a house, okay, you have this this side pressure of something going on. It's a completely different task, okay, that you have to focus harder on what you're doing. Kind of like the rain. Think of it as even the rain, okay? If you're working in the rain when it's not raining, you can work more diligently and better because there's no weather conditions slowing anything down. But what were to happen if, as you're building the house, you find out you have to basically test each piece of wood? They're not guaranteed to work, pieces of wood, but you have an idea, and that's like comedy. You have an idea of what you want and how you want it, and what you want it to look like, and how you want to give it, and how you want it received, and everything. Just like you may have an idea in jiu-jitsu as far as how you want to submit someone, how you want to get someone, how you want to defend yourself, etc. Okay? But you have to find the correct approach for every single movement, just like in comedy, for every single breakdown of everything that you're doing. Because by basically having one piece that isn't structurally as strong as everything else, then the whole thing might not potentially fall apart, but it definitely is going to have a gap, a very significant gap, that you will not be able to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. So I know I'm getting pretty technical, and I start out by saying that I'm super analytical, and I am. But I kind of just wanted to address that because I have this material that I'm working on right now, and in addition to that, I also have some new moves in jiu-jitsu. Jokes and comedy and things that you want to work on in jiu-jitsu, they're both kind of like theories. And you don't really know that they will work until you test them out, right? You follow me? So part of the great thing also that I love about comedy and, again, jiu-jitsu is that these things, it's like you build what theories you have based off of the knowledge that you also already have, okay? So if I wanted to try a new joke basing it off of A, I can assume that B will work, but maybe it'll not. I really don't want to be talking in circles or anything, but I just wanted to express the fact that how much I love it, how much I obsess over it, and not just how much it means to me, but how much it is me. I don't want to take any flack when I say this, but I feel like some comedians, or I'll say comedy first. Some comedians might do, it's like they have like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but they have like kind of an act. And what I mean by that is that it's not who they are truly on stage. It's kind of like a shtick. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a persona. And that doesn't mean they're not funny. They very well can be. But there's very extremely rare circumstances of that working. I can only really come up with one or two. But it seems to me that a lot of guys and girls are doing that because... But anyway, my point is that I believe that people can smell the funk, they can smell the fakeness, and in doing so, they're less genuine, they're less believable, and they make everyone laugh less. Whereas me, again, I'm not like putting myself on a platform. I'm just speaking out loud. Everything that I say, I really do mean. I really do believe, and it's how I really do feel. So when somebody, approached me after a show and they said, "Hey, you look like you were pretty like angry up there," I said, "Yeah, it's because I was. It's because whenever I'm talking about, I'm really passionate. So when I'm talking about something, I'm only going to talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. And I'm very opinionated on so many different things, and I always like emphasize everything as I'm saying it physically by motioning out and stuff like that. As far as jiu-jitsu goes, I also, this is like a fact. There's no question behind it. There's a lot of guys that are very strong in jiu-jitsu, right? And in case I've said it enough, but someone's not really fully connecting what this is, jiu-jitsu is basically it's a martial art having to do with, like, imagine it like this, and this is a very layman kind of a way. It's like wrestling where you choke guys and gals or whatever, okay? And using incremental movements and small movements and a little bit of leverage and stuff like that to basically finish your opponent, to either choke them or, you can do all sorts of stuff. But what I'm getting at is, if you're extremely strong, which I'm not, I'm pretty strong in general, but the biggest problem with someone who is very, very strong is that they usually do not have good technique because they rely on their strength. Now, me, I'm going to have stellar, amazing, excellent technique because I believe that my strength is my technique. It's possible you can combine both of those. You could have great strength and great technique. But just like jiu-jitsu, just like comedy, because I'm so analytical, because I'm so particular about every incremental gesture and microsecond and movement and everything in comedy, as I am in jiu-jitsu, I know that, thank goodness, they both complement each other, because when I'm not thinking about comedy, I'm thinking about jiu-jitsu. And I'm not thinking about jiu-jitsu, I'm thinking about comedy. And I'm just so grateful and thankful and really, really happy for real that I'm finally doing jiu-jitsu, because it's something that I've wanted to do for so long, just like comedy. However, circumstances circumstantially prevented both of those from happening, and now both are, and they're being paid back in full dividends. I'm getting really good at jiu-jitsu. I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun, and my comedy is just really, it's really like hitting another level. I say something is like a high five kind of to myself, called #levels. It's something that I said once on the phone with a friend of mine, and it's pretty much just a way of saying that I'm not just advancing, but I'm saying higher level stuff than I had previously said before. Even comparing my first video that I did in Dallas and then one that I just did this last weekend, it's completely different. You could say, hey, but that's natural. You're going to get better if you do something more. That's not true. This guy I know made a comment to me once, and he's 100% right. If someone were to hypothetically practice or do something very long the incorrect way, if anything, they could potentially get maybe worse, which I'm not doing. Or you could just not improve and just remain at that level. But me being my biggest critic, and with the heights and thoughts that I have about everything that I do between comedy and jiu-jitsu, I'm excited for what's to come. I know my biggest challenges right now, strictly saying comedy-wise, is getting booked. Not necessarily because of a talent thing, just because there's always limited slots, and statistically, that's just how it is. There's less slots than there are comics out there. So once I get a certain amount of material, certain amount of minutes, that I mean, look, here's the thing, and I'll leave you on this. This is not just my opinion, this is my belief. And it's more than just belief. To me, it's truth. Making people laugh consistently is very, very easy. Not a big deal. Nope. That's not what I'm doing. I'm working on getting the highest of highest quality material as far as comedy goes, and technique as far as jiu-jitsu goes, so that every line, every movement, everything that I do is going to be excellence built on top of excellence. And if I could say that in the most modest way possible, not come across as conceited and arrogant, understand that's exactly what I'm doing. But I can only say that confidently with 100% truth, because I know how much I critique myself, and how much I value the input of those that have my sense of humor and sensibility. And as far as jiu-jitsu goes, how well I know the instructor fortunately instructs the way that works for me to learn. So it's really interesting documenting all this, because you, the listener, will be able to see and view my improvements and everything. And this is going to slowly and very surely, and very soon, actually, I say slowly, but sooner, much sooner than later, turn into something that was me starting something, to me continuing something, to me being on a whole other level, to where even this channel is going to be something different than it even began as. I mean, different as far as progress-wise goes, compared to when I started it in my apartment in Texas when I first moved here. So anyway, I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. One of the things that I typically do is when I go out and I make little stops to places, I'm at the grocery store just going to pick up some small items real quick. I always say a couple minutes of material on the way to there, or if there's time in like the checkout line or something like that, really, you know. So and there always is. I always find a way to get out material, and I've been that way because I was so eager to do it ever since DC. I mean, yeah, I would just make it happen anywhere I would go. So that's a great thing, and I'm just carrying it forward here. So anyway, love everybody very much. Everybody have a beautiful day. I don't want to use too strong of a word and say love. I take that back. So I like you. I'm just joking. But yeah, I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your day. Today is Sunday. I'll be making another video this week. But yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a quick shout out, tell them what's going on, and some deep thoughts that I've had, because I'm a super deep thinking, analytical dude beyond a whole other degree. So yeah, anyway, yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop here because I'm going to keep on doing my deep analytical thought thing as I carry on doing some other task. But everybody, have a great one. Keep checking me out. Keep watching. Keep listening. And I'll have more good news to come. Just a side note, one of the things that I'm going to do is once I have that a certain amount of minutes of above high quality material, I'm going to be doing my own comedy shows. I'll be renting out rooms, and I'm going to be selling tickets, and I'm going to be making a big splash. Because, yeah, if somebody isn't giving you an opportunity, or even if it's not about, like, being shunned away, which is not the case, you can always create an opportunity, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I try to get on other shows, and I get on some of them, and not on others, which is perfectly fine. But I already call my own shots, but I'm gonna do it on a whole other level once I have enough material, and I'm gonna take this shit to the next level. So I'm excited for it, but I just got to keep on building that house, building that base, building that material. Again, in comedy, as in jiu-jitsu, before I really do some big things. But I'm working on it, and it's on its way. unstoppable. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm out. Everyone have a great one. Take care. I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Peace.